Hi guys. I thought I would do something a little different this today. Try to go outside on my balcony, and I don't know. As the world begins to venture out, I guess maybe this class should too. My only concern is I'm near a busy intersection, and I hope that you'll be able to hear me. I see that we have two people in the room, and I'm sure our numbers will grow very, very soon. All right, so who's first in? Okay, well, we'll get underway in just a couple minutes. I'm going to tilt this screen and see if I can get the lighting working a little better. Let's see. Oh well. Hi, Jackie. Well, gee, this has been a short week. I guess since we had the Monday holiday, it seems like we're just starting to get into it, and we're just about through it at the same time. Hello, Louie. Good to have you here. 4 people in the room. Okay. Well, I might as well get into it. Fall registration continues. If you have not yet signed up for fall classes, do so as soon as possible. Uh, you, it would benefit you to have as many classes open to you as possible, and a lot of classes are going to close pretty quickly. Next announcement is that we have just one more supplemental instruction that remains, and that will be the big final exam SI next Tuesday. And this will have probably more people in it than just about all the other SIs that you've attended. You tend to get folks who maybe they haven't gone to SI before, but the final exam is a real incentive for them to go. So I expect that it will be a pretty boisterous place on Discord next Tuesday at 12:30 for final exam supplemental instruction. Speaking of Tuesdays, last Tuesday, the Transfer Center did the Denied workshop. And that was for people who had applied to perhaps a very selective university and had not made it in. And the workshop was all about, well, what do I do from here? And I was just wondering, is there anyone here who went to that workshop? Because it sounds interesting. It really does. And while I, kind of wait on the chat box to see if, a hummingbird, wait on the chat box to see if anyone went, I just want to say that if you've ever been turned down by a university, don't feel bad about it. What it means is you're extending yourself, you're striving, you're saying, hey, maybe I really could go to a great, university. Hi, Georgia, how you doing? So anyhow, I guess we didn't get anyone here who went to the Denied workshop. Well, I guess that's good, right? You all got into where you wanted to get into. All right. We are going to have another food bank on campus. That is going to be next Tuesday, June 2nd. And so all the particulars are in the announcements on Canvas. So if you know somebody who could use a food bank, it's going to be next Tuesday on campus. I'm still continuing to get emails from people saying, could you please open up quiz 3 or these media note quizzes or so on or so forth? And the answer is yes, I'll do it. So if you're still kind of scrounging for points, Remember, to get an A in the class, you need 180 or more. For a B, 156 or more. For a C, 120 or more. If you're still kind of, looking under the cushions for loose coins, so to speak, you're every point you can get. Just email me about it. Tell me what it is that you need reopened, and I'll do it. The final exam. Final exams, have a reputation as being pretty big and dramatic. I remember when I was an undergraduate, there was this fellow who used to go around campus right around the end of the semester. He called himself Bob Bible. And old Bob would carry an enormous sign with him that said, "Are you ready for your final exams?" And of course, he was kind of a religious wacko, but it was fun. He was a colorful character on the campus. But the point is, are you ready for your final exam? And I mean literally the final exam. Our final exam period at Glendale College will run from Wednesday to Wednesday. That is June 3rd to June 10th. And if this was a normal semester, I would be telling you what the day and time is for the final exam for your class. However, I've been doing all the tests asynchronously since we've been going to remote learning. Asynchronous means you could take it during class time, but you don't have to. And so I'm going to follow that pattern with the final exam. And what that means is that I will open your final exam on June 3rd, and I will end it on June 10th. Now, what will the final exam be on? It will cover the entire second half of the course. So that will be Chapter 9 through the end, Chapter 15. And I now have a little more detail for you than I had on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I said, well, I'm going to have you write something in addition to the multiple choice. And I now know what I'm going to have you write. You're going to have 3 little 5-point essays. The exam will be worth 50 points overall, 35 multiple choice, and then the 3 little 5-point essays. And I've picked the topics, and when the final exam is open to you, you'll be able to see what it is. Now, this is a little more challenging than the exams that you've had this semester, but remember, being asynchronous, this is open book, so you can do this. I felt that before you get out of my class, even in this very odd semester, that you should get a taste of what a rigorous college exam is like. All right, up next, the question of the day. And I think the question of the day is rooted in the idea that I think we're beginning to see, Georgia, the instructions will be on the final once you take it. So yeah, you'll have, Georgia's asking those little 5-pointers on the final exam. How long should the written part be? It'll be on the exam. It'll be on the exam. Okay. So today's question of the day is rooted in the idea that I think safer at home and sheltering in place and all that stuff. We're getting through it. We're seeing the world reopen. This intersection that I live near is noisier than it was a couple of weeks ago because there's more activity out there than a couple of weeks ago, which is both good and bad, right? So today's question of the day is, what part of lockdown life, we'll call it, that we've been living the last 8 weeks or so, what part of lockdown life do you like? And what changes caused by COVID would you like to keep? All right. What part of lockdown life do you like? And what changes caused by COVID would you like to keep? So I'm going to have a glass of water. I'm going to hang in and wait for your answers. And as you are, let's see, I guess I'll talk about what I will kind of miss once COVID life is over. Um, the part that I hope that we keep is all the people out walking, all the people out riding bicycles. I think that for a lot of us in the evening, we walk around our neighborhood, and there are just, you get to pass by, more of your neighbors out there on the sidewalk than ever before. And so I hope we keep that. The Southern California isn't particularly known for a pedestrian culture, but who knows? Maybe this is the beginning of a new era. So, what part of? Okay, so Evan is first off the line. He says, "What I would love is playing video games while in class." Evan, you're not supposed to admit that. Okay, but nevertheless, you did answer. All right. What part of lockdown life do you like, and what changes caused by COVID would you like to keep? Let's light up that chat box, see what you have. Is this a recognition that you guys liked nothing about lockdown life? You liked nothing about the last 8 weeks or so? Is that what I'm seeing in your thunderous silence? Okay, Ethan. Ethan likes sleeping in. I've been working out more than I ever have, and maybe keep wearing masks while going to stores. Yeah. Now, as for working out, gosh, gyms are closed, but of course, trails are open. You can run, you can ride a bicycle. So, in some ways, you can get into physical activities, and in other ways, you can't. Keep wearing masks when you go out. You know, I think a lot of us are going to maintain that behavior at least for a while. I mean, because, it's not like flipping a switch. It's perfectly dangerous one day and it's perfectly safe the next. No, I think that the danger will sort of slowly recede. So exactly when you stop wearing a mask, yeah, kind of an individual decision. Um, all right. And also, Ethan, talking about sleeping in. Yeah, we now do not have travel time. The joke that I make when I head off to class is I go down the hall and I say, well, another traffic-free commute, because it's like, 20 steps or something, right? Crystal is saying the stay-at-home order has helped with your sleep schedule a lot. Well, there is research that indicates that the average American is sort of underslept. And getting an adequate amount of sleep is a significant part of good health. And if this rethinking of our schedules helps us get regular sleep, well, then that's probably a good thing. Let's see what Jackie has got. Jackie says, I love that I have more time now. I've been reading a lot of books during this time. Yeah, I've in our household we've been reading too. At the moment, I'm reading a classic about Hollywood in the 1930s and 1940s, Otto Friedrich's City of Nets, and I'm into the era where a lot of screenwriters and a few directors and actors were accused of being communists, and it ruined their career, so on and so forth. Georgia is saying, I like that staying home has made me spend more time with my family. Yeah, I think what I'm hearing is that people miss time with their friends, but they are, on the other hand, they have more time with their family. Crystal is saying, I haven't had to spend that much on gas either. Hey, Crystal, have you gotten the refund on your car insurance? I mean, I'm getting just these tiny little checks from I have Allstate, and but yeah, we should all be getting a little bit from our a little bit of a refund on our car insurance because we're driving so much less. All right, so Evan is saying, I miss hanging out with friends and going to shows. Yeah, yeah. I mean, something as simple as going out to some restaurant together, or just catching a movie or a play or something like that. It'll be nice to be able to do that and feel safe. Yeah. All right. Well, let me transition to what you will be doing today. Today's media note is entitled, Check This. Oh, Crystal, you did get a refund on your car insurance? Oh, that's good. That's good. Today's media note is entitled, Check This. And what it's about is the current, readjustment that Twitter is trying to do. Up till now, Twitter has been known as a very, very wide open, anything goes kind of platform. And recently, they began to tighten up a little bit on people spreading things that weren't true. And originally, it was all about trying to crack down on those folks who were spreading misinformation about coronavirus. Well, it really hit the fan the other day when they put a blue check mark next to one of Mr. Trump's tweets. And as you might imagine, Mr. Trump did not take being fact-checked by Twitter kindly. So listen to that media note. It's an NPR story, and then take the little quiz on it. And then I would like you to finish up chapter 14. That is the media ethics chapter. If you remember, on Tuesday, you went through the slide conflict of interest, corporate conflict of interest. Today, begin on the next slide and follow it through until the end of the chapter. So, media note, check this. Media note quiz. Finish up chapter 14 from the slide following corporate conflict of interest. All right, any last comments or questions before I end the live stream? What do we got? Well, if I hear nothing else, I'm going to enjoy it out here on the balcony. Put on my shades, my Dodger cap, and I'll see you later.